Hello and welcome to T-Rex, and here we are for episode 2 of Attack on Titan. And I am pretty excited because I get to watch episode 2 and episode 3 back to back because I missed last week's reaction. I didn't get to watch it. I didn't, really have time for it. But here I am, ready to record both of them back to back. They're going to be uploaded back to back as well, so expect that. But going on to what I want to say here. I did say last episode that I was gonna rewatch the episode and some of the other episodes in season 4, and maybe some other stuff, and that's exactly what I did. And honestly, rewatching a lot of the older episodes, like some season 1 episodes and season 3, a little bit of season 2, but especially like clicking through the season 4 episodes and rewatching some of the scenes in there. It just feels like a big mindfuck. Like, especially trying to understand Eren, his person, his, what he's like, what his goals are, what makes him tick, all those types of things. Because I'm really trying to understand that right now, because I want to know what exactly his plans are right now in season 4, because he's really he's at the epicenter of everything here. He gets the choice of what to do with the founding Titan's powers. He's in control here, basically. So I want to know exactly what he wants to do with those powers. What is the goal? Because right now, we have no idea what's going on in Eren's mind, really, or at least exactly what's going on in his mind. His friends are confused, like, oh, is he gonna do the euthanization? Armin's out here, arguing that maybe he won't do it because it's Eren we're talking about, but Zeke seems pretty sure that that's his brother. That's his bro. He's gonna go through the plan with him. So there's kind of conflicting things there. And so my research on Eren, basically research came through in a couple points. I think one of the most important things is that he is the holder of the Attack Titan. And if you go back to season 4, when Eren, the owl Eren, I forget his last name, he was telling Grisha, Eren's father, that the Attack Titan, you're gonna inherit the Attack Titan. That's my Titan. You're gonna inherit it, and it fights for freedom throughout the ages, no matter what age it's in. It moves forward. It fights for freedom over everything. And Eren, if you go back to in season 4, when he was discussing with Armin, he's like, when he tells Armin, oh, there's a reason why you keep meeting with Annie, it's because Bertolt is in your mind. Bertolt is a part of your memories. His memories are part of you, and he's shaped what kind of person you are. And I think when OG Eren, the owl Eren, told Grisha that, is basically telling him that the Attack Titan is the previous owners, and maybe just the heart of the Attack Titan it's always going to mold the type of person that inherits it next. So obviously Eren, even as a little child, he was basically destined to be a Titan. So even as a kid, he always wanted to be a scout. So he always fought for freedom, and that's just something ingrained in him. So, and then of course, that begs the question, is the euthanization plan and going through with that, is that really what's going to be, is that fighting for freedom, basically? Would Eren really think that that's ultimate freedom, is the death of, or the extinction, basically, of the people of Ymir? And they don't get the choice to have kids, so that's already eliminating freedom. They don't get a choice to do a lot of things. They're still stuck in their walls. They won't be able to leave their walls, and I just don't think that that's something that Eren would want, is to just die out like that. Especially because part of the plan involves one of his friends, Historia, having to give birth to a child, and then Historia would have to inherit the Titan, and then her child would have to inherit it. And specifically in season 4, back when we were having like the flashbacks to what happened on the island before the attack on Marley, we saw that Eren was just completely against the euthanization plan when it was brought up to them by the people, by like Yelena and all those people. He was completely opposed. He's like, no, I don't want us to be breeding like cattle. That's a big part of Eren too. He does not want to be cattle. He's mentioned that multiple times. He doesn't want to be caged up in the wall. He doesn't want to breed like cattle. He doesn't want to just like feed like cattle. So considering that's part of the plan, and the whole euthanization itself is also eliminating freedom, I just don't see a world where Eren would go through this plan. I just don't. I feel like it's too big of a mindset change to possibly, really be the end game here for Eren. So then, of course, that you go through the line of thought that, what is his end game then? If that's not his end game, that means he's playing Zeke, he's playing Yelena, he's playing everyone basically. So what is his end game? That's a difficult question to ask. That's the harder question here, because I think it's easier to answer, does he go through with the euthanization plan? My answer is no. But the harder question is exactly what does he want to do? He could just do, go through with the rumbling and then just try and survive from there. But I feel like that's too risky. It feels too poorly thought out. And it feels like you're still burdening future generations with, here, this is your problem now, you're going to have to deal with these people that are going to eventually have advanced technologies. You're going to have to continue inheriting the Titans, shortening people's lifespans because, they just have to. And that's ultimately, hurting their freedoms too. So I don't know if Eren would want to go through that. The other thought is, what if Eren just says, like, fuck it, this world is horrible, I'm just gonna destroy the world, and that's also a rough one, because I also want to talk about the fact that I still think, as much as he's hurt Mikasa, the whole thing about you're Jaeger, or not Jaeger, an Ackerman, so you're like a slave to, whoever you need to protect and arm, and you're a slave to your memories or whatever. And he hurt his friends there. He hurt, his friends with the whole Sasha dying thing, because they feel like they blame him, and he keeps them out of everything. He sides with Zeke instead of them. It's a whole mess, but ultimately I think Eren still loves those guys. He cares about them. And because there's been too much build up for their friendship throughout the show, and especially even in season 4, they have the whole, when we're going back to the what's it called, the flashbacks before they attack on Marley again. We had the whole sunset scene where they're out on the train, they're building the train tracks, and then when they're leaving and Armin was at the head of the little thing on the rails, they had the whole moment as like, I'll inherit the Attack Titan after you're done with it, or I'll inherit it. And there's a whole thing about how they all like basically loved each other and they're all blushing in the sun, and it was really cute. And I don't think they would have that moment if it wasn't to show that Eren still loves his comrades, that he cares about them a lot. And there's just too many moments before that as well, where it just feels like Eren just cares too much for me to possibly think that he's just completely backtracked on them. So that's one thing going against the whole, I'm just gonna destroy the world, and because I think one thing going towards the whole Eren possibly just destroying the world is the idea that throughout the show, almost at like every stop, every important moment, it is completely, in your face about how just terrible the world is, that it's not really anyone's fault that all this shit happened, it's just the world is shit. And that I could see a moment where Eren could possibly contemplate, like, it's no one's fault, the world's just terrible, and because the world's terrible, it has to go. We need to basically end the world. Like, but I don't know, that kind of also goes against the freedom thing, because you're killing everyone basically. unless you're under the thought that um, that just living in this world is automatically destroying your freedom, you know, that dying is a better fate than living in this terrible world. And I think another thing that, you know, goes towards that idea is that at the end of season 1, I believe the last episode, there's a whole thing when he was fighting Annie and he turned into like this rage titan that had, you know, like lava and fire, or not lava, it was just really hot and it had fire all over his body, and Eren was completely berserk. And then, you know, I think that's an important scene that, you know, maybe gives us some insight on, you know, maybe Eren's true nature. He says while he's like going berserk, I'll kill all the titans, but then right after that he also says I will destroy the world. That's not normal. It's not normal to say something like that. I will destroy the world. I'll kill all the titans, whatever. He's been saying that since the like basically second episode. I will destroy the world though is something that is just completely different, and it's on a different level of like, holy shit, like what is this guy's, you know, deep true like nature here, and something else there about, you know, discussing what is Eren's true nature here is the whole thing that he killed like 2 or 3 people. There's like 2 people, he just stabbed them to death at like age 8 or 9 or something like that, or like 10 or something, when he went to go save Mikasa after she got taken in by those kidnappers or whatever. Like that's not a normal thing that like 10-year-olds do or whatever, just stab people. So there's something to be said about Eren's, you know, rageful personality or person, even though it seems like at this point he's chilled out a little bit, but I don't know. And then I guess another possibility with his power, will he use the idea that he can alter all the people of Ymir's bodies to somehow help them to be more free? I don't know. I just don't know what exactly you would do to do that. It just seems exceedingly difficult to find a solution that would just magically fix all the Eldians' problems. Though, of course, Eren has had years to think about this, and he's actually living the situation, so he has a bit more insight, or, you know, a bit more, he might know better what exactly needs to be fixed, or how to fix things. And another thing I want to talk about is actually talk about the last episode, because I did rewatch it. I guess that's my Eren bit done. So I mostly just want to talk about Ymir. I want to talk about Ymir, you know, or I'm just calling her that. I'm assuming that's actually her name, you know. That's just what people call her, the goddess in the other world. And it really pertains to Zeke here, because Zeke dies, right? He gets the Thunder Spear, splits half his body. And in his dying moments, this is like 2 episodes before the last episode I just watched. He splits his body, and then a Titan comes out of nowhere and puts them in his stomach. And, you know, rewatching the episode now, the recent one, the Titan seemed like pregnant. Like that was the whole thing, was that it was like a pregnant Titan, like a motherly Titan, I guess. And it put it in its stomach, I guess, or, you know, whatever, its belly, I should say, more accurately. And then it was like a weird thing where basically Zeke was reborn. He was reborn, and that's why, you know, I guess that's supposed to be the emphasis. That's why Zeke came out naked, because, like, you know, newborns come out naked. Obviously, they don't come out of clothes. And, you know, he had like weird liquids over his body or whatever, and he was shocked, and, you know, So I guess the whole thing is that he was like reborn, and that was birthed out by this random titan that came out of the ground, because that's really what happened. It came out of the ground. There's no other explanation, and it seems like Ymir sent that titan, or whatever the paths area sent that titan there to save Zeke. But then that begs the question, why was Zeke saved? Is it because, I touched on this before, was it because he's related to Ymir, the original titan? He's part of that royal family, or is it something about his destiny? Is he just not destined or fated to die there? Because I feel like there is a sense, or not, there is like fate in this world, basically, because fate or destiny, because it's been shown before that time doesn't matter here. like like linear time anyways, because we see Eren at the very beginning of the show, they start off with weird flashbacks from the future of the titans crossing into the walls, and people dying, and obviously that's stuff from the future, so that means that that those kind of things are already fated to happen. So there's fate, there's things that are destined to happen. So maybe Zeke just wasn't destined to die there, and so he, is it because there's some entity that wants him to complete something to help the Eldians? I don't know. Or was it just a thing where Ymir saves him because he's family or whatever? Because it seemed like, or maybe Ymir just saved him just because he noticed him because he's a Titan shifter. Because there's a whole scene there in the first episode of the second half of season 4 where it seems like when Zeke looks up as he's dying, and he sees Ymir, right? And Ymir kind of was just like carrying a bucket. It looked like she was just doing like ordinary family tasks or living tasks or whatever. And she just kind of looks over and notices him. Is like, what's this guy doing in my way here? Let me help him out. And then when we go to this, separate like universe almost or whatever, this separate plane, when she's building Zeke out of clay, she kind of had a distinct face, or like she was making a distinct face, and it was kind of hard to tell if she was like. My initial thought, it seemed like she was burdened. Like, this is like, oh, this is my job to, help this people, or maybe the Titan shifters, or people of my royal blood, or, people of the founding Titan. And she seemed kind of burdened. That was my initial thought. It was like, I'm stuck here, like, by myself, and this is my job to, do shit with this remaking Eldians or whatever, whatever thing she has to do there. Or you could interpret the face as like a face of concern, as like, oh my god, like what the hell happened to you? Let me rebuild you here. Let me rebirth you back into the world. It's just it's uncertain if that was like a burdened face or a concerned face. And it kind of gives a thought that Ymir's like kind of seen as like the mother of all Titans, basically. Also, what is this different universe? Is it like a different universe? Is this universe like having like happening concurrently with our universe? Is there like a portion of everyone that's in this paths at the same like time? Because like, is there always a Zeke in that universe? Or is it something where you can only be in one place at one time? Like, you can't be in both? Are you secretly in both? Is it like a dream state? It's really confusing what type of place this is. The whole paths thing. I don't know. Oh, and also thought, is this the place where you go to when you unlock the complete founding Titan? Is this the place where when Eren touches Zeke and activates his power, is this where Eren goes? Because, I mean, obviously we see Ymir like molding Zeke. is this where, you know, Eren would go to mold the people of Ymir into what he wants them to be like, or what he wants to do? And, you know, if that's the case, then is he gonna meet Ymir? What the hell would she say? What the hell would Eren say to her? You know, to activate the power, does he need to talk to her? I don't know. I think that's about it. That's all I want to say. You know, there's also the whole thing about 2,000 years to you in the future, you know, the name of the first episode. I also want to discuss that, I guess. You know, 2,000 years to you in the future. What does it mean? Is it talk? Who's you? Who's talking? You know, is it a possibility it's like Armin? Armin narrates the story here. You know, whenever there's like, you know, intros or outros, you know, next episodes and stuff like that, it's always Armin narrating. Anything that needs narration, it's Armin. So it's almost like a story. And I think in season 2, when season 2 starts, it opens like a storybook. So is this like a weird thing where Armin is like telling the story of, you know, this important time in humans' histories or Eldians' history? So is that the 2,000 years in the future to you, or is you Eren? Is you Armin? Is you Ymir? Is this Ymir speaking to someone? Is this 2,000 years to you have to do something with this, you know, Clay universe, this Path universe, or whatever? Yeah, that's all I had to say about that. Nothing's clear yet, so I think I'm just gonna go into the episode now. I've discussed long enough. This video is about to be long as hell. Next episode's initial thoughts won't be as long, but I think we should just get right into it. Oh, we're back here. So I'm assuming they're gonna help Eren in the fight against the Marleys, the Marleyan people. The silence is crazy. Nobody's sure about this. We're being I said this last reaction. They just have to go through it. There's no other choice for them. No, I don't want to die yet. See, this is what I'm saying, that their relationship isn't dead. They still care for each other, both ways, I think. He doesn't want you guys involved, I guess. What are these shots? He just wants to do things on his own. He doesn't want to burden them, maybe. Yeah, he did say we. It's not like he said I will be free, we will be free. Yeah, there's no certainty about the whole Ackerman thing. Because there's also questions of, you know, who did Levi serve? You know, was it freaking Erwin? But Erwin died, you know. It feels like he's too much of a lone wolf to really believe that he's someone that was forced to protect someone. You know, there was the whole thing with Armin just saw with his flashback about how, you know, if we defeat all our enemies over there, will we finally be free? And then there's also the whole scene about Eren, his talk with Reiner in Paradis, or not Paradis, in Marley. Oh shit. There's a whole thing with Marley when he was in Marley. He was talking with Reiner, and he was in the room with Falco, and he was telling them that I'm gonna keep moving forward until all my enemies are done for, until I kill all my enemies. So is his thought to just eliminate everyone except for Eldians, like the people of Ymir? because he's hoping for our freedom, not their freedom. I think that's a possibility. Oh shit, he's going in for the bite. Holy shit. Ooh. The scream. Is that supposed to be like a signal? Or is that just his rage? His determination. Oh shit. What the hell was that? Hey, there he is. Yelling out. Oh. Oh shit. This just got really interesting. The Wonder Boy. Oh. I mean, all they have to do is touch. Hey. Let's go. Okay, let's go. I'm hyped. Whew. And if we're going on the thought that Eren could just destroy all his enemies and just keep the Eldian people alive, maybe he won't even go for a half rumbling, like just to show it off. Maybe he'll just go full out, just crush the world, just flatten the earth. That's a possibility. Obviously, besides the Eldian people, because there's the whole thing that his idea, his ideal, or no, something he lives by is, if you want to live, you have to win, and if you want to win, you have to fight. You know, it's fight to win. It's a dog eat dog world. He wants all the smoke. Yeah, no, I don't. You're not gonna win a one-on-one with the Beast Titan. Oh shit, we see that boy. There's music, man. Eren's very injured though. Like, he's used up so much of his power fighting all those people. Yeah, what are you guys gonna do? Falco's about to re-enter the story very soon. He's still destined to turn into a Titan Shifter. He's gotta be, there's no way. This is such an interesting dialogue because it's two Eldians but on different sides of the war, basically. Yeah, and they're all wind up. No. But who is Falco gonna eat if he does turn? That look, man. Just put your gun down, man. You don't want to fuck with John. Oh, John's the goat, man. He's that guy. Hey, Shadis. He got his ass beat by the cadets. I remember that. Yeah, he's wind up too. I guess, yeah, that's what the armbands are for. Yeah, this chick. Way back from like episode like 6 or something. Oh, she's putting it away. The iconic scarf. The boys, let's go! Oh shit. And Yelena, of course, is in love with Zeke. That's her god. She thinks this is like a damn near like biblical moment for her. Bro, so much shit has happened to Shiganshina. It's insane. Yeah, something's gonna change. I don't know if you think. I don't know if it's gonna go down exactly how you think it's gonna happen. The classic charge. God damn. Yeah, that's kind of scary thigh, isn't it? Yeah, what is gonna happen with Levi and Hanji? Yeah, exactly. You don't have a choice. You gotta help them regardless. But when and how are... Oh my god, what the fuck is that face? What's your issue? What? Oh, these are the wind-up people. I forget this guy's name, but he's been here for a while. He's been here since season 1, basically, yeah. Miss Nile, that's his name. Yeah. I forgot his name, but he's been a cool guy throughout the show. He's starting to learn, man. That's why. Oh, and they're right there. Ooh. Wait, are they coming in the same house? And yeah, there she is. Yeah. She's feeling that guilt, man. They care about her. Well, except for the other girl. Aww. It's just emotional, man. Yeah. You're just fed that information. You're just kids, like, couldn't really do anything about it, but it is important to realize this. The cage. A bird's cage. Some big character development for Gabby. That's not your fault though, Falco. How are you gonna know? How are you gonna know any better? The bird cages. Come on, man. That's too on point. This show just loves birds. They're everywhere in every like important scene. Oh my god. Okay. What? Whoa. Okay. Confession here in the middle of war. This is such a good scene, bro. I mean, he might turn into Titan soon. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, why would he scream though to turn them into Titans? Like, I feel like it only happened if they're like in a dire situation, though. Though maybe that might be upcoming. God damn. I mean, could he just drop down there and like just run to him? Oh, she's out of her Titan form. Come on, Zeke. Why are you being dumb? There's no way they got her. It wouldn't happen off screen. Yeah. Who's behind them? Or no, the guy's still in there. Oh my fucking god, bro. Okay, it didn't take out him. So he's still alive. Obviously, he didn't instantly die. Loki's Zeke's dumb as fuck for saying that. Oh, it seems that you came to your end. Come on, man. She wouldn't go down that easy. And just because you see a Titan's skeleton, it's not over. Yeah, he's repeating that phrase from season 2. And in Scream, the last episode of season 2. Man, this music's fucking awesome. He's fine. And they're gonna go meet him. Alright, so that was episode 2. That was pretty intense. I don't want to spend too long in here because I want to watch the next episode, and also because I spent a long ass time on the intro. But key things about this episode. I think the thing that stuck in my mind most is the whole Yelena thing. Her face of just absolute like disgust. It seemed like that. I feel like that's the best way to describe exactly what that face was at Armin specifically. It wasn't like it was at their group. It was at Armin. So obviously this means she made that face of like disgust or hate or whatever you want to describe it as, specifically at Armin, because something he did, either in the past or right there, or something he said right there. And really all Armin said was, we have to help Eren and Zeke, and because they're the only ones that could save the world, and that we have to help out the Jaegers because that's the only way we can do it. And then after he says these things is when or like he said, we have no other choice or whatever, we have to help Zeke and Eren save the world, we have to help the Jaegers. That's when Yelena gave him this face of just pure disgust, and everyone else was just like, Mikasa and Connie and John were like, well, what the fuck, what kind of face? And that forced Armin to look up and look at her face of disgust. And then she immediately flips into this, oh shit, I'm making this face, let me just, go to my little cute, yeah, please help, but, help out Eren and Zeke save the world, go, I believe in you. So that change of face, I guess it's supposed to maybe show that maybe she has a different motive. Does she have some other motive behind why she wants this to happen? She said that this is history in the making. And that she's here to experience it firsthand, and but what exactly does she want? Is she some type of special person? I don't think so. I just feel like she's just like some gal here that's just all with Zeke and what he wants to do. I don't know, but what exactly did Armin say that really pissed her off? Was it that they wanted to help him? Help Zeke and Eren? It's like she mad about that? She's like, oh, Zeke and Eren don't need help? Or she's like, oh, I'm the only one that needs to help Zeke and Eren. I'm the primary, helper, the primary, other person, basically. Does she just not believe in them? But why give him that face of disgust? Is it because he mentioned the Jaegers, and he's like, the Jaegers is a bunch of bullshit, it's really just Zeke and Eren plus me, Yelena. So is that why she got mad? Or does she just have general disdain for Armin and these people? Or does she have disdain for everyone but Zeke and Eren? Or is it because of a thing like, now you're just suddenly flip-flopping, I'm talking about Armin and them, like, oh, you guys are all about, fuck Eren, fuck Zeke, we want to do our own rumbling, we want to have our own Beast Titan and Founding Titan, we want to do our own thing, we want to be independent of Zeke and Eren here. And then now all of a sudden, now you want to help Zeke and Eren save the world or whatever. And so she's like, I've been true with them the whole time, you guys disgusting to me because of this, that you guys would just flip-flop when you need the help, basically, when you're forced into this situation. Because Armin said, there's nothing else we can do, we have to save them. Every other situation results in us dying the worse than we could possibly die if we save Eren or Zeke. So that's all I have to say about that. Yelena continues to be an interesting character. What exactly, it just feels like she definitely is sided with Zeke. I don't think she has an ulterior motive, but there's a possibility that she does. But if she does, what the hell is she gonna do? You know, that's why I also asked, is she a special person? I don't know. That's what I have to say about, you know, the whole yell in the face, because I feel like that was a very distinct moment in that episode there. Zeke is back, but you know, he got his cheeks clawed by the guy, I forgot his name, bro. The commander, the captain, whatever his name is. How am I forgetting his name? I feel really disrespectful. That guy's really cool. Magath. He snipes down Zeke in a moment where Zeke was kind of like just dumb there. he sees Peak's skeleton and is like, oh, she's done for. That's the way you die. Like, come on, man. You really think she's gonna go down like that? And the fact that the weaponry is still on top of her too, just like, oh, whatever, it's like kind of pointed at me or like near me, and I'm just gonna not worry about it. And I thought he could have just jumped down and like run towards Eren. I don't know, I feel like he would have had plenty of time to just do that. It's not like he can't scale the wall. We've seen him, you know, climb up and down the wall before. So you know, a little nitpicking there, I guess, about, you know, some of the moments there. I feel like yeah, I don't know about that, but it's not a big deal. But we're seemingly inching closer and closer to Zeke and Eren making contact, and thus, you know, initiating Eren's ability to completely control the Founding Titan. And what we'll see out of this, I don't know. We're gonna finally see what happens when you gain full control of the Founding Titan. We've only seen Eren have it for a moment when he touched the Smiling Titan, Dinah Fritz, or Dina. But here we're gonna see like a full-fledged version of it, where Eren completely understands what power he has, and you know, he can make full contact with Zeke. And we're gonna see probably next episode, I would assume, that he's gonna, you know, start up his power here, unless something happens in between then. But you know, there's still the whole Levi Hanji thing. You know, Armin and Mikasa and them are about to enter the fray here. We have Falco and Gabby and Falco's brother, for his name, Colt, running towards Zeke as well. So there's a lot of things happening here. A lot of things can happen. Is Zeke gonna scream? I kind of assumed Zeke would scream, because I'm still under the idea that Falco's gonna turn into a Titan Shifter, right? So if that's gonna happen, then what? How does this happen? What Titan does he take? Which Titan is it gonna be? Eren's Titan? I don't think so. Would it be like the Gallagher's Titan, the Reiner? You know, Reiner. The whole thing was that they're fighting for for the Armor Titan, him and Gabby, and you know, their past comrades that died, Zofia and Udo, I think was his name. They're trying to get Reiner's Titan, and Reiner was pretty adamant, like, hey Falco, I want you to inherit it, because I don't want Gabby to, you know, suffer here. And you know, Reiner's whole thing is that he just wants to go away peacefully. He wants his time to just rest, because he's just done with everything. He would have stopped here, but he feels like he has to protect Gabby and Falco. So he's like, you know, this is my last stand, basically. And you know, I feel like Reiner could have that sense of completion, or you know, basically, I've done what I need to do once he sees Falco and Gabby healthy, and he's like, you know what, take my Titan. I could see something like that happening. It's a possibility. And I feel like Falco kind of fits the mold of someone who would be the Armored Titan, I guess, because he's kind of similar to Reiner in a way. I feel like they kind of parallel that in a way, because they're very, you know, they're like nice-natured kids, like just good kids. Honestly, got good kids, and I feel like he could fit that mold. But is there a possibility he would take Eren's Titan? Because I do remember, you know, in the ending music, the ED of season 4, the first half of season 4 is a lot of like Falco. We see Falco like reach for like what looks like the founding titan, because it like the path, we see the paths turn into like trees and paths and whatever, and we see Falco reach and grab for it. So is that supposed to signal that he is going to eventually be the holder of the founding titan? Maybe. He was the first character introduced to season 4. He was the first scene, well, besides the bird, obviously, because, you know, apparently Attack on Titan has to show bird every, you know, beginning scene. But then it's Falco. So is this supposed to signal Falco's importance? That he can maybe hold the founding titan eventually? Because Eren doesn't necessarily have to be the person that uses the founding titan to alter people or use it to rumble or anything like that. Anyone with the founding titan that touches Zeke could do it. The only requirement is that they touch someone of royal blood. So it could be Falco if you want to like a plot twist, but I think Eren's gonna get to do the whole founding titan thing at least once. So before any like weird timeline where Falco does it, or Falco gets it. And this is just all, you know, just I'm just throwing stuff out here. I'm not saying that I actually think Falco's gonna take the founding titan or anything, but I'm just throwing out possibilities. And there's also the whole thing that Falco was very close with Eren, you know, while Eren was there, and Eren was telling him, well, you're a good kid, I really want you to live. But it just feels like, unless they're just throwing us for a loop with the whole thing about him having memories from the future, you know, that's the very first episode. One of the very first scenes of season 4 was Falco having memories of titans and swinging a sword, or, you know, whatever. So it just feels like he has to be a titan shifter eventually. It's just, will that actually happen? Was it just throwing us for a loop? I don't know. And Falco confessed this episode. He confessed his his love to Gabby. That scene was so good. Just seeing Gabby's, you know, final realization. You know, we've been building up to this whole, you know, season basically, and I think that was just an important mini story, mini plot line about Gabby's character development and maturation into, you know, finally understanding, or, you know, feeling empathy for these other people. I feel like that's something that could, you know, be applied to real life, where, you know, oftentimes we'll think about other people, and it doesn't even have to be, you know, exactly like a situation like Gabby, where it's like, you know, different race or culture or whatever. It can even just be applied to everyday people, where, you know, sometimes people just lack empathy for the other person. You know, they don't see them as someone who's living through the same struggles or living through the same world basically as we are. So just seeing people as people. I know that sounds, you know, like very simple, or like, you know, oh duh, of course you're gonna think of people as people, but sometimes people don't. They just see people and think they're like, you know, like an NPC or something. Like, they're not, you know, living what I'm going through. You know, I'm me, I'm going through all this stuff, but a lot of times they're going through the same shit. And, you know, being able to empathize with these people is an important part of, you know, maturing as a person, and, you know, becoming a moral person basically. And I feel like that's something Gabby has gone through, and I feel like that's really a great example of something. It's a good metaphor for things happening in real life, basically, is what I want to say about that. And it's just really, it's a great scene, heartwarming, it's emotional. That's one of my favorite scenes so far, between those 2 episodes so far of the second half of season 2, or season 4, I mean, pardon me. And what else do I want to say about this? There's not too much. There's a lot of action. I think an important part here was the whole Armin, Mikasa, John, Connie discussion about how Connie and John really still care about Eren, you know, because I said this in the reaction and in the intro, I just feel like there's too much history. There's too much connection, too much between the relationship between Eren and those guys for everything to be for naught. Everything to be just thrown out the window and be like, we don't care for each other anymore. Both ways, Eren and from them. I think their connection was real, and I feel like that was an important part that this show really wanted to get through to us, was that this core, you know, of those guys plus like Sasha, and like his story and them, they're, you know, they're a family basically. And I just don't think they would just throw that out of the window and just ignore that when it comes to Eren's side and from their side. Well, I think that about wraps up all I have to say here. I want to move on to the next episode, so go check out episode 3's reaction. That should be up concurrently with episode 2 reaction. Check out episode 1 reaction if you watched that for some reason, or my channel, and also check out my channel introduction, because talk a little bit about what my plans are for this channel. So that's about it, guys, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out.